Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. North and South America and all the ships at sea. Let's go to press. Tonight, the big searchlights are cutting up the Hollywood sky, and the crowds are pouring into the Pantages Theater. It is Movie Town's brightest hour, Oscar night. In a very few moments, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will begin handing out statuettes for the best film achievements of 1949. It is not a precious work of art, that golden Oscar, but to moving picture people, it looks better than an original by Michelangelo. A new royal family of filmdom is about to be crowned. And now, before the elect of Hollywood and the millions of listeners in the great 48 states, the annual Academy Award show is underway with the national anthem.
This is Ken Carpenter, ladies and gentlemen, speaking to you from the RKO Pantages Theater in Hollywood. From our American Broadcasting Company booth adjoining the stage, we look out upon a brilliant spectacle indeed. From the rear of the balcony to the footlights, this huge audience of 3,000, representing the who's who of Hollywood, has assembled in colorful evening dress to participate in this eagerly awaited 22nd Annual Academy Awards show. And to help in the broadcast, here in the booth are two of Hollywood's most articulate people, the lovely Miss Eve Arden and the president of the Screen Actors Guild, Mr. Ronald Reagan. During the course of tonight's show, Miss Arden and Mr. Reagan will chime in to describe the action and keep radio listeners abreast of what's going on here in the theater. Right now, the overture is about to begin. It's made up of the 5 songs nominated for this year's Oscar in Songwriting, plus last year's award winner. The Academy Awards Orchestra, Robert Emmett Dolan, musical director of the evening, conducting. Now, as the house lights darken, the orchestra descends into the pit, and slowly the curtain rises to disclose a stunning stage setting dominated by a huge replica of the hero of the evening, the Academy Oscar. And just in front of it, a whole table full of those coveted awards. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Mr. Charles Brackett.
Ladies and gentlemen, at any official meeting this year, whether it be of Big Steel or the Girdle Trust, it is customary to take a glance at the half-century's development in the field of endeavor of those convening. In the case of motion pictures, I find the temptation to do so irresistible. Our medium, the newsreel part of it, has caught and preserved the 50 years with accuracy and impersonality. Because of the evidence in film vaults, no one can ever picture the epoch in pretty stylized terms, such as surround 18th century England, or the Currier and Ives America of 100 years ago. We are not celebrated, as was an era of France, in great majestic tapestries. We are there on celluloid, looking rather funny to the eye of posterity. Funny, but human and understandable. I hope posterity will study us quite a lot. What about the other aspect of our medium? How have we developed as an art? 50 years ago, the highest emotion moving pictures could evoke in an audience was terror at the charge of an onrushing train. In contrast, examine the product of the year we have under consideration tonight. The 5 nominated pictures nominated by our members explore a stunning variety of subjects. A, an aspect of the American political scene. B, the recent war from 2 different angles. C, a delicate psychological study from the pen of a great American novelist. D, a cross-section of an American suburb, observed with contemporary wit and accuracy. In addition, and occurring frequently on our nominations lists, are 4 fine pictures dealing in high compassion with the problems of our Negro citizens. This is long and honorable progress. Scrutiny of the 22 years of Academy nominations bears out this theory of the maturing screen and the maturing appetites of picture audiences. Not that the fun and nonsense which is an essential part of show business is being neglected. No year which boasted I Was a Male War Bride and a musical as exuberant as On the Town can be accused of being unduly solemn. I emphasize the consideration of graver matters because we live in a time when our civilization, if it is to survive, must survive through some grave exaltation of the human spirit, some kinder and wiser doctrine than the other side of the world can show. For that spirit, for that doctrine, may motion pictures be a strong and dedicated instrument. And now, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce as our master of ceremonies tonight the man who shouldered his way into the affection of the picture public as the richly human mug in A Letter to 3 Wives, Mr. Paul Douglas.
Thank you, Mr. Brackett. Thank you, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. When the Board of Governors of the Academy were looking for what they call a fresh and exciting new personality to MC this show, everyone at the meeting yelled out in unison, "Get Douglas." Well, we all know how busy Kirk is, you see. So I attired myself properly, and I got my license from Senator Johnson, and here I am. You may not have an impressive MC, but believe me, you certainly have an impressed one. This is my first Academy show. I'm a stranger here, so I'll handle the pitch the best way I can. Now, in past years, when I listened to the show, I always wish they'd tell us something about, how it all works, about nobody knowing who the winners are until the envelopes are opened right here on the stage. Well, I've been briefed. The envelopes are sealed and brought to us from the auditing firm of Price Waterhouse, where the returns have been properly counted and certified. 12,000 people took part in the voting this year. The nominations for distinguished achievement were made by the members of the Academy branches, assisted by the Hollywood Guilds. The final selections were voted by the 1,893 members of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. However, one of the reasons I never quite believed that nobody knew the winners beforehand is the fact that the orchestra always plays exactly the right piece of music a split second after the winner's name is called. Well, it's true. Now, I'd like to report a bit of personal investigation. I snooped. I found out all about it. The conductor, Robert Emmett Dolan, and his musicians have 134 pieces of music in their books, one for every nomination in each category. As the nominations are read for each award, the musicians have all the appropriate music fanned out on their racks. When the winner is announced, the conductor gives the downbeat in exactly the time it takes the musicians to grab the right music. That's all there is to it, really. Now, a word, if I may, to the potential winners. A word: speeches. Mr. Robert Montgomery touched on this point last year. Mr. Montgomery, an eminent actor, good dresser, nice fella. Well, you see, it's the custom with nice people that when something good happens to them, they like to thank everyone who had anything to do with bringing it about. Well, this, of course, is true. However, all of us know the teamwork that must go into a fine picture. So right here and now, on behalf of the winners, permit me to thank your cameraman, your writer, your director, your hairdresser, your front office, your makeup man, your grip, and your producer. And, if I may, we'll also assume that without your mother, the whole thing might not have been possible. So if it's all right with you, we'll adopt a sort of loose rule. You just thank your lucky stars, the voters, and no one else, please. And now to begin our 22nd award show under the general direction of Johnny Green, a governor of the Academy, we present the first of the 5 nominated songs. It's a great feeling, sung for us by that eminent exponent of the smiling voice, Jack Smith.
It's a great feeling to suddenly find the clouds are silver lined when the sun shines through. It's a great feeling to walk down the street and see the folks you meet smiling back at you. As long as I've got someone to embrace, as far as I'm concerned, the world is such a lovely place. It's a great feeling, your credit is nil, you'll never make a mill, but nonetheless I stay. When you're in love, you're feeling great. It's a great feeling to suddenly find the clouds are silver lined when the sun shines through. It's a great feeling to walk down the street and see the folks you meet smiling back at you. As long as I've got someone to embrace, as far as I'm concerned, the world is such a lovely place. It's a great feeling, your credit is nil, you'll never make a mill, but nonetheless I stay. When you're in love and she's in love, it's a great, great feeling when you're feeling great.
And now to the person who will present our first award. I have very few lines on Miss Patricia Neal. However, she has quite a few of her own. To present the Special Effects Award, Miss Patricia Neal.
The job of the Special Effects Department is to stage impossible happenings on the screen. There are 2 excellent examples of such miracles this current year. In Mighty Joe Young, they are responsible for converting a pile of lumber, a roll of tar paper, and a stack of old toupees into an 80-foot gorilla you'd swear was alive and breathing. In the picture Tulsa, the special effects people came up with a blistering oil field fire, so realistic that it singed eyebrows in the balcony. The real miracle of that job is that on the screen the fire gutted an area of 13,000 acres, and yet this spectacle was staged on a table no larger than the one you have in your dining room. Those are the two accomplishments nominated here tonight: Mighty Joe Young and our co-production RKO Radio. Tulsa, Walter Wanger picture, Eagle Lion. Mr. Francis Holford of Price Waterhouse. The envelope, if you please. The winner is Mighty Joe Young, our co-production, RKO Radio.
This is Ronald Reagan. And now the first winner of the 22nd Annual Award is approaching this very beautifully decorated stage. It is Mr. Willis H. O'Brien, who created the great spectacle in that picture, Mighty Joe Young.
Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Patricia Neal, and congratulations, Mr. Willis H. O'Brien. Now to present the Film Editing Award, a man who comes from the ranks of film editors, the brilliant young director, Mark Robeson. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Paul. However, I'm not a young director, but an old cutter. For the benefit of those who do not know what a film editor is, he's the man who works at the side of the director, assembling the film and putting it into completed form. After many weeks, after cutting and snipping, he's finally able to get the picture all set. Even after the picture is a hit, he's the man in the lobby who mutters, "I wish they would have let me have another crack at it." Now, those nominated for tonight's award in film editing are All the King's Men, a Robert Rawson production; Columbia, Robert Parrish and Al Clark; Battleground, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, John Dunning; Champion, Screenplays Corporation, United Artists, Harry Gerstadt; Sands of Iwo Jima, Republic, Richard L. Van Enger; and The Window, RKO Radio, Frederick Knudsen. May I have the envelope, please? And the winner is Harry Gerstadt for The Champion.
Thank you, Mark Robeson, and congratulations, Harry Gerstead. You know, when men flip through the fan magazines and hit a picture of Ann Baxter, they say, "Ha-ha, now there's a dish." But I would have made a better husband than that guy Hodiak. And in the same magazine, women say of Hodiak, "Well, there is a run of muscle." But I bet I could give him more sweet talk than Baxter. But with all of that, Ann Baxter and John Hodiak seem satisfied, and so is our town. To present the Cartoon and Short Subject Awards, a pair of people who have put together a really handsome marriage. John Hodiak and his wife, Ann Baxter. Hello, happy couple.
Hello,
Hello, Paul.
On this one, I think we'd better sort of break up the speeches, alternate. John, you start.
Oh, wait a minute, Paul. I know you've been playing mugs in pictures, but wouldn't a real gentleman let the lady start? You know, ladies first.
A real gentleman would let the lady have the last word. You start.
Fair enough. The nominees for the best cartoon are Magic Fluke, United Productions of America, Columbia, Stephen Basusto, executive producer.
For sentimental reasons, Warner Brothers Cartoons, Edward Seltzer, producer.
Hatch Up Your Troubles, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Fred Quimby, producer.
And Toy Tinkers, Walt Disney, RKO Radio, Walt Disney, producer. The envelope, Mr. Holford. The winner is, for sentimental reasons, Warner Brothers cartoons produced by Edward Seltzer.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner for Sentimental Reasons by Edward Seltzer, producer, a wonderful cartoon. You probably remember it, about the little skunk. And the winner seems very happy as he's accepting his award, and I'm very happy for him. That was a wonderful cartoon. I remember it with great pleasure.
Those nominated for Best Achievement in Short Subjects, one reel, are Aquatic House Party, Paramount, Jack Eaton, producer.
Roller Derby Girl, Paramount, Justin Herman, producer.
So You Think You're Not Guilty, Warner Brothers, Gordon Hollingshead, producer.
And Spills and Chills, Warner Brothers, Walton C. Ament, producer.
Water Tricks, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Pete Smith, producer. May I have the envelope, please, Mr. Holford? And the winner is Aquatic House Party, Paramount, produced by Jack Eaton.
So, ladies and gentlemen, another contestant wins, and this is a two-time winner because, as this one, and it's not Jack Eaton, it is being accepted by Ernest Courts in behalf of Jack Eaton, who was the 1943 award winner. He is now on the stage and receiving the Oscar for Jack Eaton.
The award was received by Mr. Ernest Courts, who directed the picture.
Those nominated for Best Achievement in Short Subjects, two reel, are Boy and the Eagle, RKO Radio, William Lasky, producer.
Chase of Death, Irving Allen Productions, Irving Allen, producer.
The Grass is Always Greener, Warner Brothers, Gordon Hollingshead, producer.
Snow Carnival, Warner Brothers, Gordon Hollingshead, producer.
And Van Gogh, Cinema Distributors, Gaston Deal and Robert Hastings, producers. Mr. Holford, the envelope. The winner is Van Gogh, Cinema Distributors, produced by Gaston Deal and Robert Hastings.
Here we have another winner for Short Subject, a French film on the life of Van Gogh. The story was told by narration while the camera showed his best paintings.
Thank you, John Hodiak and Ann Baxter. And Mr. Ed Barrison of Cinema Distributors accepted the award. Now, the best summary of Ann Blyth's personality is that she is like a high, clear, clean note of music. As a matter of fact, we're going to ask her to put together some notes of music tonight and sing the second nominated song, My Foolish Heart.
Like a lovely tune, beware my foolish heart, how white the ever-constant moon. Take care, my foolish heart, there's a line between love and fascination that's hard to see on an evening such as this. For they both give the very same sensation when you're lost in the magic of a kiss. His lips are much too close to mine. Beware my foolish heart, but should our eager lips combine, then let the magic start. For this time it isn't fascination or a dream that will fade and fall apart.
The most complimentary thing you can say about an actor is that he's versatile. But some studios, when they've got a script that calls for a young actor to do an odd or an off-bit piece of playing, they sort of rack their brains and say, who can we borrow? At Paramount, when they get a script like that, they say, John can do it. They mean John Lund.
I am here to present the award for sound recording. Most people, even those of us who should know better, think that sound recording is accomplished by pressing a button and then getting out of the way. It is, in fact, an extremely complicated task, calling for the coordination and cooperation of a whole group of highly trained men. It is for this reason that the Sound Award is not given to an individual. The nominees for the best achievement by a studio sound department are Once More, My Darling, Neptune Films, Universal International, Sands of Iwo Jima, Republic, and 12 O'Clock High, 20th Century Fox. May I have the envelope? The winner is 12 O'Clock High, 20th Century Fox.
Out there to accept the award for sound recording for 12 O'Clock High. Of course, this is also one of the pictures up for the Major Picture Award. He's had 3 previous awards to sound departments headed by him, has Mr. Thomas Moulton.
Thank you, John Lund, and the award was accepted by Thomas D. Moulton of 20th Century Fox Sound Department. You know, they say Hollywood has more beautiful women than the rest of the country put together. I don't know too much about the rest of the country, but it's a pleasure to see how some of them around here are put together. I can't think of 2 better examples than the 2 girls about to make the awards for art decoration and set decoration. From my left, Miss Barbara Hale. And from my right, Miss Ruth Roman.
Thanks for those nice words, Mr. Douglas. You know, I'm afraid you say that to everyone who comes out on this stage.
I didn't say it about John Lund.
I would have.
Oh. Well, that's what makes horse racing. Barbara, will you start off with the nominees, please?
Those nominated for the best achievement in art direction of a black and white picture are Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox, Lyle Wheeler and Joseph C. Wright, set decoration, Tom Little and Paul S. Fox.
The Heiress, Paramount, Harry Horner and John Meehan. Set direction, Emile Curie.
And Madame Bovary, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Cedric Gibbons and Jack Martin Smith. Set direction, Edwin B. Willis, I believe, yes, and Richard Pefferly. And now for the envelope. Harry Horner and John Meehan for the Heiress.
Harry Horner, John Meehan, and Emil Curie. This, by the way, if you are confused, is a dual award, inasmuch as in each case the art decoration or direction and set decoration at times closely together. And now the plaque is being handed for set decoration and the Oscar, of course, for art direction.
Those nominated for Best Achievement in Art Direction of a Color Production are Adventures of Don Juan, Warner Brothers, Edward Correa, set direction, Line Rhinesnyder.
Little Women, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, Cedric Gibbons and Paul Gross. Set direction, Edwin B. Willis and Jack D. Moore.
And Sarah Band, J. Arthur Rank, Eagle Lion, British. Jim Monahan, Michael Ralph, and William Kellner. The envelopes, please, Mr. Holford. Cedric Gibbons and Paul Grosset for Little Women.
Popular award tonight. Cedric Gibbons is a winner of 6 previous awards for art direction. Made the original sketch of Oscar, which was the basis for the trophy design.
Richard A. Pefferly will accept the awards for set decoration. Set direction by Edward B. Willis and Jack D. Moore.
Oh, well, all right.
We have given away so many plaques, ladies and gentlemen, and various and sundry things. And I might apologetically say that the presence of Miss Hale and Miss Roman is not conducive to sticking to the script. We will go from there to music. Tonight, to sing the third nominated song representing the group of top stars in Western films, we have with us everybody's favorite cowboy, Gene Autry.
Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's really indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight for this great occasion. As I look over these famous Oscars out here, it sort of makes me jealous. After all, I know that I haven't a chance to win one of them. After all, my pictures don't even play these large theaters or large cities. In fact, my pictures play a lot of towns that are so small Harry Truman hasn't even been there yet. But we would like to do a little number for you, ladies and gentlemen, that is up for an award tonight, and we really love it. We think it's a grand song. And with the help of the, what's your name? Cass County Boys.
Thank you.
We would like to try and sing it for you. Lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. If I were king, dilly dilly, I'd need a queen who told me so, dilly dilly, who told me so. I told myself, dilly dilly, I told me so. If your dilly dilly heart feels a dilly dilly way, and if you'll answer yes, in a pretty little church on a dilly dilly day, you'll be wed in a dilly dilly dress of lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. Then I'll be king, dilly dilly, and you be my queen. If your dilly dilly heart feels a dilly dilly way, and if you'll answer yes, in a dilly little church on a dilly dilly day, you'll be wed in a dilly dilly dress of lavender blue, dilly dilly, lavender green. Then I'll be king, dilly dilly, and you'll be my queen.
Thank you, Gene Autry. Now, every time they mention this next fellow, Every time they mention him, they say he started out as a hoofer, that he became a fine dramatic actor, a great light comedian. He was president of the Screen Actors Guild, a stout fellow, beloved by everybody, everybody beloved by him. In fact, people say so many nice things about the fellow, you'd think he was dead. To prove he's not, here he is, Mr. George Murphy.
Thank you, Paul. I may not be dead, but I certainly feel dressed for it. Thank you. My job here tonight is to make the awards for documentary films. Documentary film has been called the creative reporting of social facts on film. Certainly the pictures which have been nominated for the award this year fit that definition exactly. They are A Chance to Live, March of Time, Richard de Rochemont, producer, 20th Century Fox. 1848, A&F Films, produced by French Cinéma Générale Coopérative. The Rising Tide, National Film Board of Canada, produced by St. Francis Xavier University. And So Much for So Little, Warner Brothers Cartoons, Edward Seltzer, producer. The special envelope, please. The winners are A Chance to Live, March of Time, produced by Richard de Rochemont, 20th Century Fox, and So Much for So Little, Warner Brothers Cartoons, produced by Edward Seltzer. It was a tie, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there's our first tie of the evening. Chance to Live, documentary short subjects. The award is being accepted by Colonel Jason S. Joy. That was the March of Time, Richard de Rochemont producing picture. And So Much for Little, the award is being accepted by Mr. Edward Seltzer. This is a Warner Brothers picture. Our first tie of the evening in documentary short subjects.
Colonel Jason S. Joy of 20th Century Fox Studio accepted the award for The Chance to Live. Mr. Murphy?
Thank you, Paul. Those nominated for feature documentary are Daybreak in Udi, British Information Services, produced by Crown Film Unit, and Kenji Comes Home, a Protestant Film Commission production, Paul F. Hurd, producer. May I have the envelope, please? Daybreak in Udi, British Information Services, produced by Crown Film Unit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking here from the special booth in the stage of the Director, or I should say by Robert Henry Haddo, British Consul General of Los Angeles.
Mr. Robert Henry Haddo, British Consul General in Los Angeles, accepted the award, and thank you, George Murphy. Now, the next awards are for costume design. During the past dozen years, Hollywood has set a pattern of fashion. The clothes worn by our feminine stars seem to create the type of styles women like to follow. And to present the awards, we have the type of women men like to follow. From my left, Miss Peggy Dow. And from my right, Miss Joanne Drew.
Thank you, Paul. We're very pleased to present awards to the designers. And for all the women who appear on the screen, we would like to thank the people who make that appearance so much better.
Those nominated for the Best Achievement in Costume Design for a black and white production are the Heiress, Paramount, Edith Head and Guile Steele.
And Prince of Foxes, 20th Century Fox, Vittorio Nino Novarese. And may I have the envelope, please? The winner is Edith Head and Guile Steele for the Heiress.
Oh, this is wonderful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy for Edith Head. An award is long overdue her. As a matter of fact, we had our hair done at the same place this afternoon, and I told her I was rooting strongly for her. And here she comes in a very interesting gown. Black linen skirt with a white top embroidered in jet. Man, but they're looks very handsome, Mr. Giles Steele, who is also accepting an award. Edith was nominated in 1948 for the Emperor Waltz.
Those nominated for the Best Achievement in Costume Design of a Color Production are Adventures of Don Juan, Warner Brothers, Leah Rhodes, Travilia, and Marjorie Best.
And Mother is a Freshman, 20th Century Fox, Kay Nelson. The envelope, please. And the winner is Leah Rhodes, Travilia, and Marjorie Best for The Adventures of Don Juan.
This is really my department tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't be happier. Leah Rhodes is doing the costumes for the new picture I'm about to start now, and she's done some wonderful things out at Warner Brothers. And Travilia has too, also Marjorie Best. The two ladies are coming up to accept the awards. I'd like to describe what they have on, but from our little canary cage, it's difficult to see. Miss Rhodes.
Thank you, Peggy Dow and Joanne Drew. Leah Rhodes and Marjorie Best have accepted the award for trivia. And now, we've invited the singing half of the great comedy team, Martin and Lewis, to do a solo stint this evening. To present the fourth nominated song, there's a fellow who can really sing the paint off the wall. Dean Martin and the song Through a Long and Sleepless Night. Dean Martin.
Sleepless night, I whisper your name. Through a long and sleepless night of who is to blame. Can't help but wonder if you're lonely too, as I lie there toss about, so at a loss about you. I wish my heart would leave my memories alone. Why must I redream, relive the joy we have known? I pray that someday our love will see the light, till in the tick-tock silence I'll tell my heart to weep less, all through an oh so long and sleepless night. Why must I redream, relive the joys we've known? I pray that someday our love will see the light. Till then, in tick-tock silence, I tell my heart to weep less, all through an oh so long and sleepless night.
Now, to present the Cinematography Award, we have two of Hollywood's most enthusiastic camera fiends and one of its nicest couples, Dick Powell and his wife, June Allison.
Hello, Bob.
Hello. June, I didn't go overboard, did I, about your enthusiasm for amateur photography?
Oh, no, I should say not. Why, Richard's got at least 35 cameras.
The boy is really going.
Yes.
I bet I am. I've got one camera I use just to take pictures of the other 34.
Well, cameras are probably a lot of fun as a hobby, but it's a lot tougher when you're a pro. Then cinematography calls for a man well equipped with skill, stamina, and diplomacy.
Lots of diplomacy, Paul. For instance, I started a picture last week with a cameraman I hadn't seen in about 10 years. After the first day's work, we went to see the rushes. I didn't like the way I looked. So I turned to the cameraman and screamed, "I can't understand it. I never look like that."
The cameraman very politely answered, "I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Paul, but you see, I'm 10 years older."
Well, June, on this high note of diplomacy, the nominations, if you please.
Those nominated for achievement in cinematography, black and white production are Battleground, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Paul C. Vogel.
Champion, Screenplays Corporation, United Artists, Frank Planner.
Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox, Joseph Lachelle.
The Heiress, Paramount, Leo Tober.
Prince of Foxes, 20th Century Fox, Leon Shamroy. Mr. Holford, the envelope, please. The winner is Paul C. Vogel for Battleground.
This is a very important award, ladies and gentlemen, the Cinematography Black and White Award. It's won this year by Mr. Paul C. Vogel for the wonderful picture Battleground. And by the way, this is the first nomination for Mr. Vogel. As a rule, old-timers win this award. It's the first nomination Mr. Vogel has had. He's accepting his Oscar for the Black and White Cinematography Award for Battleground.
Those nominated for the best achievement in cinematography of a color production are the Barclays of Broadway, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Harry Stradling.
Jolson Sings Again, a Sidney Buckman production, Columbia, William Schneider.
Little Women, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Robert Plank and Charles Schoenbaum.
Sand, 20th Century Fox, Charles G. Clark.
She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, Argosy Pictures Corporation, RKO Radio, Wetton Hutch. The envelope, please. The winner, Wetton Hutch, for She Wore a Yellow Ribbon.
This is very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. We, too, have to choose from 5 cards. Let us know who the winner is and what he's done. Wetton Hutch, award 1948, color cinematography, Joan of Arc. Also photographed on Melody Time, Taproots, and 3 Godfathers.
Thank you, Dick and June, and congratulations, Wetton Hutch. Now, the record books list Jose Ferrer as a graduate architect, Broadway actor, painter, designer, director, motion picture star. In fact, he's done everything from building a bridge to switching to Calvert. Jose Ferrer, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm here to present the scientific or technical awards, and I want to make one thing clear at the outset. The method of selecting the scientific and technical awards is different from any of the others. A committee made up of the ranking technicians, engineers, and scientists of the industry spends months investigating the long list of technical advances made during the year. This means that if a scientist or technician receives Academy recognition, his achievement has undergone the most careful scrutiny of his peers, and a tougher audience doesn't exist. Not even this one tonight. The statuette or Oscar for scientific and technical achievement is not given annually. It is presented only when a giant forward stride has been made in motion picture science. Tonight is only the 6th such presentation in the history of the Academy. Up until a short while ago, all 35mm motion picture film in general use was inflammable. It had been a continuing hazard to the thousands of people all over the world who work with film. Also, it was a threat to our archives, that great mass of contemporary history which has been recorded on film. After years of effort, a new type of improved safety film has been introduced. For that achievement, the development and introduction of the improved triacetate safety-based motion picture film, the Oscar has been awarded. Will Mr. Emery Hughes accept the Academy Award for the Eastman Kodak Company? The following achievements have been awarded certificates of honorable mention to Lauren L. Ryder, Bruce H. Denny, Robert Carr, and the Paramount Sound Department for the development and application of the supersonic playback and public address system. In simple and maybe slightly inaccurate words, this is a radio so tiny that it can be carried in an actor's pocket. This makes it possible for music or verbal directions to be delivered to the actor or actress without interfering with the ordinary recording of dialogue. The idea has already saved a great deal of time and led to some rather interesting dilemmas. Congratulations, gentlemen. To Mr. M.B. Paul for the first successful large area seamless translucent backgrounds. Now, this one is involved. Broken down, it means that when you see one of those scenes with two lovers on the veranda and the Manhattan skyline in the background will look better from now on. Unhappily, this invention does not affect the actors. Anyway, congratulations to Mr. Paul. To Herbert E. Britt for the development and application of formulas and equipment producing artificial snow and ice for dressing motion picture sets. Out here in California, we don't get a look at much real snow, but this new development would confuse even an Eskimo. It lasts longer, it looks colder, and it feels warmer. Congratulations, Mr. Britt. To André Coutin and Jacques Matteau for the design of the Éclair Camerette. This is a handheld motorized precision camera with a direct view of the image while it is being photographed. Also, it has instantly interchangeable magazines and accurate registration. This instrument increases very considerably the mobility of our cameramen and will make a handsome Christmas present for June Allison to give to Dick Powell. Congratulations, gentlemen. To Charles R. Daly and to Steve Chillag and the Paramount Engineering, Editorial, and Music departments for the new precision method for computing variable tempo click tracks. Now, the click track is the device by which, in certain difficult cases, the Hollywood musician is able to fit his music to the visual image on the screen. These engineers have turned a long, time-consuming task into a simple, rapid operation, and for the first time made it possible for Hollywood musicians to get home on time for dinner. Congratulations to you, gentlemen. To the International Projector Corporation for the simplified and self-adjusting take-up device for projection machines. This development reduces to almost the 0 point the danger of fire and film mutilation in the projectors. Congratulations, gentlemen. And last, to Alexander Velkoff for the application to production of the infrared photographic evaluator. You may not know that actors being photographed in both infrared and ordinary photography in the same sequence present a problem to the cameramen because of the variations in the color values of their makeup and clothing. This new device makes possible an immediate and exact estimate of these variations. It would also, if widely distributed, no doubt wreck the men's wear business. Certainly no group in our industry has knocked at frontiers and sought improvements so consistently as the scientists and technicians. Congratulations to all of you.
And congratulations to you, Joe. Oh, this is me sort of getting my second wind. At least I hope I do. You know, when I stepped out here about 55 minutes ago to face you 3,000 people, glamorous and important people, you'd have thought I might have been nervous. I still am, believe me. Now, one of the big musicals of the past year featured a song which has since become the bachelor's anthem. It's called Baby, It's Cold Outside, and is the last of the nominated songs. In place of Esther Williams, who is out of town, Arlene Dahl joins the rest of the original cast, Ricardo Montalban, Red Skelton, and Betty Garrett to sing Baby, it's cold outside.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go
But
away.
baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Hoping that you'll drop in.
so very nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like ice.
My mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My
hurry?
father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace roar.
So really I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry.
Well, maybe just a half a drink more.
Put some records on while I pour.
The neighbors might.
Baby, it's bad out there.
Say, what's in this
No
drink?
cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your
how
eyes are like stars right
to
now.
break the spell.
I'll take your hat. Your hair looks swell.
I ought to say no, no, no,
Mind
sir.
if I move in
At
closer?
least I'm going to say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my pride?
I really can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out. Baby,
Ah, but it's cold outside. I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The welcome has been
Lucky that you dropped
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
My sister will be suspicious.
Gosh, your lips look delicious.
My brother will be there at the door.
Waves up on a tropical
My
shore.
maiden aunt mind is vicious.
Gosh, your lips are delicious.
So maybe just a cigarette more.
Never such a blizzard before.
I've got to get home.
But baby, you'd freeze out there.
Say, lend me your
It's
comb.
up to your knees out there.
You've really been
I
dry.
thrill when you touch my
But
hand.
don't you see?
How can you do this thing to me?
There's bound to be talk tomorrow.
Think of my lifelong
At least
sorrow.
there will be plenty in
If
flight.
you caught me warm and
I
I
really can't
get
stay.
over that old
Ah,
baby,
but
it's
it's cold outside.
I really can't
But
stay.
baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
I'm
been
hoping that you'd
so
drop
very
in.
nice.
I'll hold your hands. They're just like
My
ice.
mother will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace roar.
Really, I'd better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't hurry. Put some records on while I
The neighbors might think,
Maybe it's bad out there.
say what's in this
No
drink.
cabs to be had out there.
I wish I knew
Your
how
eyes are like stars
to
right
break
now.
this spell.
I'll take your hat. Your hair looks
I
swell.
ought to say no, no, no.
Mind if I move in
At least I'm going to say that I
What's the
tried.
sense of hurting my
I really can't
Oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out. Baby, it's cold outside.
I simply must go.
Baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is
But
no.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been
Hoping that you drop
so
in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
Sister will be suspicious.
Gosh, your lips look delicious.
Your brother will be pacing the floor.
Waves upon a tropical shore.
But Maine, I...
Never such a blizzard before. Never such a blizzard before. Baby,
None of this I remember.
up to your knees out there.
You've really been
The
grand.
thrill when you touch my
But don't
hand.
you see?
How can you do this?
There's going to be talk tomorrow.
Think of my lifelong
At least there'll be
sorrow.
plenty implied.
If you caught pneumonia and
I
died,
really can't
oh,
stay.
baby, don't hold out. Baby,
Well, Betty Garrett really gave Red Skelton a great working over in their chorus of Baby It's Cold Outside. She ended up with him flat on his back in the Davenport. We pause now for station identification.
Well, certainly, this is a spot where an angel would fear to tread. I don't have to be hit by a train. I know I haven't anything big enough to follow that. But I think Charles Brackett has. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the president of the Academy, Mr. Charles Brackett.
We come now to a series of special awards voted not by the membership, but by the Board of Governors of the Academy. They honor achievements which do not fall into the various categories of the regular awards. At 10 o'clock last night, as our Constitution specified, the Board of Governors met and voted to make several special awards. Before I tell you about them, however, may I read you a letter which I regard as a special award for the Academy itself. The White House, Washington, D.C. Dear Mr. Brackett, on the occasion of the presentation of the Academy Awards for 1949, I am glad to have the privilege of extending my greetings to the thousands of creative workers who contribute so importantly to the art of the motion picture. We look to them to carry this art to new levels of achievement, knowing that they will bring entertainment and inspiration to millions of our own citizens, and that their product is the chief medium through which other millions of people the world over learn to know our country. I join you in honoring those men and women of the industry who have been selected as deserving of Academy Awards. With sincere regards, Harry S. Truman. Thank you, Mr. President. Now for the first of the special awards. It will be presented by a lady so charming, one can't understand how Paris relinquished her. Miss Micheline Prel.
Thank you. The award I have been asked to present is for the best foreign language motion picture. It goes to that magnificent Italian film, The Bicycle Thief. Dr. Mario Ongaro, the Italian consul in Los Angeles, has accepted the award.
Thank you, Dr. Ungaro and Miss Prell. For our next award, I'm going to ask Ronald Reagan to leave the radio booth long enough to make the presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, this award goes to a fellow guild member and Hollywood's best citizen, president of the Motion Picture Relief Fund, and for 4 very important progressive years, president of this Academy, a distinguished radio personality, and an actor of Academy Award stature before many of tonight's contestants were born. This Oscar to Jean Hershow.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this coming Sunday, it's the 26th of March, it's exactly 44 years ago since I made my first picture, in 1906 in Denmark. It was only a 300-foot feature that took us about 4 hours to make. It's a long jump from that 300-foot flash to this magnificent affair tonight. I'm very, very proud of having been privileged to be a member of this industry for so many years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronald. The next special award will be presented by Donald O'Connor.
Thank you very much. Sorry Francis couldn't be with me tonight.
But he's home making out his speech for next year. This award is for the best performance by a child actor or actress during the year 1949. It goes to the little boy whose performance in The Window and So Dear to My Heart enchanted moviegoers and critics alike, Bobby Driscoll. Bobby?
I've been so thrilled in my life. But I want to thank everybody that had to do with me getting this award. And I want to thank God for giving me such a wonderful mother and father. Thank you.
Congratulations, Bobby, and thank you, Donald. The next award is a very special one. I'd like a very special person to present it. Miss Ginger Rogers.
Early this morning, the Academy Board of Governors got in touch with me and asked if I'd make this next presentation. Yes, 1,000 times yes. You'll see why when I read this citation. It says, "To Fred Astaire, for the artistry that has brought unique delight to picture audiences and has raised the standards of all musical pictures, in appreciation also of his contributions to techniques vital to the production of this type of film," unquote. I think it's a wonderful citation, but I don't think any citation would completely please the millions of people who have watched Fred Astaire perform. They would want that citation to mention some song he did, some tricky step on a terrace, some sly and satin descent down a staircase. And they'd be right, because in all his years of dancing, I don't think Fred Astaire ever made a movement that did not contain a hint of high art. He not only dignified dancing, as far as I'm concerned, he invented it. About the award is a pretty exciting moment for me, too. In fact, I'm so excited I could do handsprings down Hollywood Boulevard. And I'm sure there are many people here, too, who feel the same way. Also, I'm sure they want to hear from Fred Astaire. He's not in Hollywood tonight. His special award caught him off base. However, he was reached in New York this noon, and right now, he's supposed to be at the other end of a special Hollywood, New York circuit. Can you hear us, Fred? Can you hear us there in New York? Fred Astaire!
Can I hear you? Oh, brother. Oh.
And the music, Fred. Can you hear that, too?
Yes, indeed I can, Ginger. And of course, I just don't know what to say. It's wonderful. I'm so thrilled. I'm ready to do handsprings myself down Madison Avenue. I'm very proud and very grateful. And as for you, Ginger, you've been much too gracious. Remember, I've had a partner.
Thanks, Fred, but that's not what it says here on the Oscar. It says in big letters, "To Fred Astaire."
Now, for goodness sake, don't let anything happen to it, will you? I'll tell you what. I heard George Murphy on the show. If he's still in the house, would you ask Bert to please accept the award for me? Thanks, Ginger, and God bless you all. Good night.
Thank you, Ginger Rogers. Congratulations, Fred. Our next award I insist on giving myself. It should come under the heading of a Pioneer Award. But the ageless vitality of the man to whom it's been voted is so extraordinary none of us can think of him as a pioneer. He was, though, in spades. He was the man who wired his New York bosses that the best place to make pictures in the West was an unknown village near Los Angeles called Hollywood. It's incredible that a man of his youth should have made the first American moving pictures of stirring beauty. How many of you are old enough to remember Maria Rosa and Joan the Woman? They were landmarks. The award might have been voted to him on an entirely different basis. As Mr. Show Business himself, for 37 years he has understood best how to amuse and thrill and entertain the American public. His achievements range from dramatizing the Ten Commandments to discovering the man who became Hopalong Cassidy. It's a beautiful thing never to have been a bore, and he has turned out thunderously entertaining pictures from the Squaw Man to Samson and Delilah. For 37 triumphant years, this Oscar goes to Cecil B. DeMille. It should be the case with a young, energetic producer. Mr. DeMille is out of town preparing a picture. I called him this morning and told him he had been voted an Oscar and who was to accept it. His first comment was, "Could the Academy vote Mrs. DeMille a pair of wings?" This is Mrs. DeMille.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure I'm very sorry that Mr. DeMille is here, not here, and I know that he will be very sorry and very appreciative of the award.
Thank you, Mrs. DeMille. As no Thalberg Award was voted this year, I can now turn you back to Paul Douglas.
Cole Porter music is the only music in the world with a split personality. For proof, drop by any Roadhouse dive on a Saturday night. The people are jammed together dancing to a Porter tune, and they think he wrote it just for them. Then jump to the St. Regis roof, everybody's at arm's length, and pretty sure Cole wrote the song for them. Well, after 25 years of this, the feeling has spread that Cole Porter is a qualified musician. That's why he's here tonight to make the music awards. Mr. Cole Porter.
Thank you, Paul. The nominations for the best scoring of musical picture are Jolson Sings Again, a Sidney Buckman production, Columbia, Morris Stoloff, and George Buning. Look for the Silver Lining, Warner Brothers, Ray Heindorf, and On the Town, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Roger Edens, and Lenny Hayton. May I have the envelope, please? The winners are Roger Edens and Lenny Hayton for On the Town.
Johnny Green, General Director of Music at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, accepted the awards for Mr. Eden and Mr. Hayton. Mr. Porter.
The nominations for Best Score of a Dramatic or Comedy Picture are Beyond the Forest, Warner Brothers, by Max Steiner, Champion, Screenplays Corporation, United Artists, by Dmitri Tiomkin, and The Heiress, Paramount, by Aaron Copland. The envelope, please. The winner is Aaron Copland for The Heiress.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, another winner is coming up to this handsomely appointed stage. He has been nominated, Aaron Copland, for scores of Mice and Men in 1939, Our Town in 40, and The North Star in 1943.
Louis Lipstone, head of Paramount Music Department, accepted the award for Mr. Copeland. Now, Mr. Porter.
The nominations for the best song written for and or first used in a motion picture are Baby It's Cold Outside from Neptune's Daughter, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Music and lyrics by Frank Lesser. It's a Great Feeling from It's a Great Feeling, Warner Brothers. Music by Jules Stein, lyrics by Sammy Kahn. Lavender Blue from So Dear to My Heart, Walt Disney Production, RKO Radio. Music by Elliot Daniel, lyrics by Larry Morey. My Foolish Heart from My Foolish Heart, Sam Goldwyn Productions, RKO Radio. Music by Victor Young, lyrics by Ned Washington. And Through a Long and Sleepless Night from Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox. Music by Alfred Newman, lyrics by Mac Gordon. The envelope, please, Mr. Holbers. The winner is Frank Lesser for Baby It's Cold Outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, we in the booth have been arguing the merits of our respective songs that we voted for, but I think we're all very happy with this. It's so beautifully presented tonight. Frank Lesser has had previous nominations for Dolores in 1941. They're either too young or too old. I Wish I Didn't Love You So. He's been in the film industry since 1937.
Thank you, Cole Porter, and congratulations, Frank Lesser. On 1942, President Roosevelt announced that the American planes which had just bombed Tokyo had taken off from Shangri-La. The fact that this allusion to a mythical country was instantly clear to people all over the world is a high tribute to its inventor, a man who is to present the Writing Awards tonight, an Academy Award winner, a distinguished novelist of international standing, Mr. James Hilton.
Thank you, Mr. Douglas. Yes, Shangri-La is indeed a wonderful place for everyone. But for writers, and especially motion picture writers, it has further charms. In Shangri-La, for instance, there are producers who read scripts, and directors who photograph whole scenes without touching a line. And there are actors who insist the play's the thing, and there are agents who insist on only 5%. However, as Mr. Douglas pointed out, it is a mythical country. So, on to the Writing Awards. Those nominated for the Best Motion Picture Story are Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox. Story by Claire Booth Luce. It Happens Every Spring, 20th Century Fox. Story by Shirley W. Smith and Valentine Davis. Sands of Iwo Jima, Republic. Story by Harry Brown. The Stratton Story, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Story by Douglas Morrow. And White Heat, Warner Brothers, story by Virginia Kellogg. Now the envelope, please. The winner, Douglas Morrow, for The Stratton Story.
Douglas Morrow wins the first of the important writing awards for The Stratton Story, a great Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture. This is Miss Morrow's first nomination. He was formerly an actor, by the way. I understand he got the idea for The Stratton Story while watching a softball game at the Veterans Hospital near Los Angeles, and he felt something should be done to encourage wheelchair patients.
Now, those nominated for the Best Screenplay are All the King's Men, a Robert Rossen production, Columbia. Screenplay by Robert Rossen. The Bicycle Thief, De Sica Production Company, Mayor Burstin, Italy. Screenplay Cesare Zavattini. Champion Screenplays Corporation, United Artists. Screenplay by Carl Foreman. The Fallen Idol, London Film Productions. Selznick Releasing Organization, British. Screenplay by Graham Greene. and A Letter to Three Wives, 20th Century Fox, screenplay by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. May I have the envelope? The winner, Joseph L. Mankiewicz for A Letter to Three Wives.
And now here comes Joe Mankiewicz, a very popular choice. You might be interested to know, ladies and gentlemen, that the difference between this and the previous award is that this is for the construction of the screenplay regardless of the original source of the story. It could have been a published novel or short story or anything else. This is only for the construction of the screenplay.
Now, those nominated for the best story and screenplay are Battleground, a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, story and screenplay by Robert Pirosh. Jolson Sings Again, a Sidney Buckman production, Columbia, story and screenplay by Sidney Buckman. Paisan, a Roberto Rossellini production. Mayor Gustin, Italian, story and screenplay by Alfred Hayes, Federico Fellini, Sergio Amidei, Marcello Pagliaro, and Roberto Rossellini. Passport to Pimlico, J. Arthur Rank, Eagle Lion, British. Story and screenplay by T.E.B. Clark. And The Quiet One, film documents, Mayor Burstin. Story and screenplay by Helen Levitt, Janice Loeb, and Sidney Myers. Now may we break the seal? Thank you. The winner, Robert Pirosh for Battleground.
Ladies and gentlemen, this particular award is for the writer who developed his own story into the finished screenplay. Quite a task in itself. This is his first nomination. He himself is a veteran of the Battle of Bastogne.
Thank you, Mr. Hilton, and congratulations, Robert Pirosh. As you may have guessed, it has been our aim here tonight to choose our presenters for their fitness for the honor. We also felt that if they were good to look at, that didn't hurt a bit. But to present the award for the best achievement in direction, the committee has chosen the best-looking director in town. Stanley Lapina's daughter must have been born wise in the ways of show business, if there's anything at all in heredity. She has lately added writing, directing, and producing to her busy and distinguished career as an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Ida Lapina.
If a genie ever gave me a wish, I think I'd know how I'd like to spend it. I want my name to be in a list like this. Those nominated for the best achievement in directing are All the King's Men, Robert Rosson Production, Columbia, Robert Rosson. Battleground, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, William A. Wellman. The Fallen Idol, London Film Productions, Selznick Releasing Organization, British, Carol Reed. The Heiress, Paramount, William Wyler. And A Letter to Three Wives, 20th Century Fox, Joseph L. Mankiewicz. The envelope, please. The winner is Joseph L. Mankiewicz for A Letter to Three Wives.
Well, this is Mr. Mankiewicz's first nomination for direction. Of course, he just got through coming off the stage, accepting an award for the screenplay for Letter to Three Wives.
Thank you, Brother Lupino. Miss Lupino's name, incidentally, on the membership list of the Screen Directors Guild is Irving Lupino. That way we can keep the same informal tone to our meetings, and there's a building cost to be considered. Ladies and gentlemen, this is something for which nobody, in all honesty, can be prepared. I am not prepared. This is a great honor, and I am deeply appreciative. Thank you.
Thank you, Ida Lapina, and double congratulations to you, Joe Mankiewicz. You know, they gave me a piece of advice before I came to Hollywood. Beware of babies, furry animals, and the old character man. They'll steal every scene they're in. Well, I'm going to introduce to you now someone who isn't a baby, a furry animal, or an old character man, but whose charm, intelligence, and sound knowledge of her business makes every scene she's in her scene. The lady who won last year's award for the best performance by an actress in a supporting role will present the award tonight to the actor whose performance in the supporting role was the voter's choice. Miss Claire Trevor.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me thank Paul for that wonderful introduction. I hardly recognize myself. I very well remember what it's like to be a nominee waiting. I mean, it's almost unbearable, the suspense. So, you wonderful candidates, I won't keep you waiting any longer. Those nominated for the best performance by a supporting actor are John Ireland in All the King's Men, a Robert Rossen production, Columbia. Dean Jagger in 12 O'Clock High, 20th Century Fox. Arthur Kennedy in Champion, Screenplays Corporation, United Artists. Ralph Richardson in The Heiress, Paramount. And James Whitmore in Battleground, Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Now that well-remembered envelope. The winner is Dean Jagger for 12 O'Clock High.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting so excited in the booth here, making our bets on the various members, but we're very, very happy about this one. Dean Jagger is a greatly respected member of our profession, and he's played major roles in Missouri Legend and Tobacco Road.
You shouldn't do that much of that. They suggested that if you had anything to say, if you were lucky enough to get up here and get one of these wonderful things, you keep it to 15 seconds, I believe it was. I can think of a lot of things I'd love to say. I couldn't say them in 15 seconds. I would like to say this, because I hear a lot of kidding about what people say when they get one of these, but you do feel grateful to a few people that helped you, too. And I would like to say to a man by the name of Daryl Zanuck, who's given me a couple pretty wonderful opportunities, to Henry King, a fine man and a great director, I'm very grateful, and I feel emotional as the dickens about it. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to you, Dean Jagger, and thank you, Claire Trevor. Now, there will be no bourbon jokes used to introduce Ray Milland. He's an expert light comedian, a gifted dramatic actor, and a winner of the Academy Award. He's here to present the Oscar for the best performance by an actress in a supporting role, Mr. Ray Milland.
Thank you, Paul. One of the first things they try to drum into an actor's head is a sense of timing. I think my sense of timing would be way off tonight if I didn't read these nominations. Those nominated for the best performance by an actress in a supporting role are Ethel Barrymore in Pinky, 20th Century Fox; Celeste Holm in Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox; Elsa Lanchester in Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox; Mercedes McCambridge in All the King's Men, a Robert Rossen production, Columbia; Ethel Waters in Pinky, 20th Century Fox. May I have the envelope, please? The winner is Mercedes McCambridge.
Ladies and gentlemen, is one of those affairs and one of those things that can only happen at an Oscar affair. Down the aisle, dressed beautifully in white, is coming a young lady who, for her first screen role, receives one of the coveted and highest awards that this our industry can give. And now I might add that we are to that tense point in the Academy presentation. She's approaching the mic.
I'm aware of those who have contributed to this moment and thankful for them. But I would like to say to every waiting actor, hold on. Look what can happen. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Miss Elizabeth Cambridge. That was a short but very distinguished speech, and thanks to you, Mr. Ray Milan. Well, one of the beautiful sights of last year's show was Jane Wyman in a white crepe evening dress accepting an Academy Award. Well, you can give odds one of the beautiful sights of this year's show will be Jane Wyman in a white lace evening dress presenting an Academy Award. In fact, this girl's in a rut. She's stuck with good looks, good humor, good grace, and 2 white dresses. To present the Oscar for the best performance by an actor, Miss Jane Wyman.
Before the winner is announced, I, at this time, would like to congratulate him because after his name is read, he won't remember it. He won't remember anything for 24 hours. So, those nominated for the best performance by an actor are Broderick Crawford in All the King's Men, a Robert Rossen production, Columbia; Kirk Douglas in The Champion, Screenplays Corporation, United Artists; Gregory Peck, 12 O'Clock High, 20th Century Fox; Richard Todd in The Hasty Heart, Warner Brothers; and John Wayne in Sands of Iwo Jima, Republic. The envelope, please. Broderick Crawford for All King's Men.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is so exciting, so wonderful. I personally have known Brod for such a long time, and it's just great to see him come up and accept this award. I know everybody here is very, very happy for him because he gave a wonderful, wonderful performance. He is now embracing Jane, who looks divine in a white dress.
If my heart would stop beating for a minute. Mr. Douglas said I was to thank nobody. I'd like to thank all of you, and especially thank God. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane Wyman, and congratulations to you, Brod Crawford. Gets exciting, doesn't it? You know, during the last months of 1949, one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors left the fold. When Jimmy Stewart was married, every bobby soxer in America wore his socks at half-mast, and a woman in Buffalo spoke to her husband for the first time in 17 years. However, Jimmy's fans are on both sides of the screen. Those who work with him admire his talent and enjoy his company. Now, to present the award to the Best Actress of 1949, Academy Award winner, Jimmy Stewart.
Please forgive me for not stopping to acknowledge how honored I am to be here, but I can't wait to see who won it either. So, those nominated for the best performance by an actress are Jean Crane in Pinky, 20th Century Fox; Olivia de Havilland in The Heiress, Paramount; Susan Hayward in My Foolish Heart, Samuel Goldwyn Productions, RKO Radio; Deborah Carr in Edward My Son, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer; and Loretta Young in Come to the Stable, 20th Century Fox. Now, if I can have the envelope. Olivia de Havilland.
And so, for the second time, Olivia de Havilland walks up to this platform to get an Oscar. Olivia coming down the aisle, and she too is dressed in very beautiful white and looking very beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I should describe her. But anyway, as she does go up on the stage, ladies and gentlemen, they can have all their critics' awards and all their magazine polls with all apologies, all of them. But this is really the big leagues, and no one can take away from the glamour and excitement of Oscar night.
Your award for To Each His Own, I took as an incentive to venture forward. Thank you for this very generous assurance that I have not entirely failed to do so.
Again, congratulations to you, Olivia de Havilland, and thank you, Jimmy Stewart. You know, when a great star walks on the screen, he dominates it. When Jimmy Cagney walks on the screen, he owns it. And he's held the First Mortgage for 20 years. He's done everything from a buck and wing to Shakespeare. He's patrolled the movie beat like no actor of his time. An Academy Award winner himself, he is about to make the award for the Best Picture of 1949. Jimmy Cagney.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have seen Hollywood at its Sunday best. As great as the temptation is to share in the dignity of the evening and add to the added contribution of well-deserved superlatives, about the only thing left to say is, meet the champion. Now, the nominations for the Best Picture of the Year are All the King's Men, a Robert Rawson production, Columbia; Battleground, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer; The Heiress, Paramount; A Letter to Three Wives, 20th Century Fox; and 12 O'Clock High, 20th Century Fox. The envelope, please. The winner, All the King's Men, Robert Rawson, Columbia.
Sir Robert Rawson is coming to the stage to accept the award for All the King's Men. Great picture starring two of our winners already this evening, Mr. Broderick Crawford, the Best Actor, and Mercedes McCambridge, the Best Supporting Actress. Here is Mr. Rawson.
It's been a long evening. I just can't talk. Thanks very much. And despite the fact that Mr. Paul Douglas said that I shouldn't thank anyone, I'd like to thank all of the people who contributed to this picture all over again, and all of you. Thank you again.
Thank you, Jimmy Cagney. Thank you, and congratulations, Bob Rawson. Thanks very much, all of you very, very nice people. You've met the new royal family of Hollywood. May they reign mightily for a year and a day. Bless you all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, so concludes the 22nd Annual Academy Awards show, and it rounds out our ABC coverage of this great spectacle. We recapitulate just once more for you. The Best Actress Award went to Olivia de Havilland, the Best Actor to Broderick Crawford, the Best Supporting Actress to Mercedes McCambridge, the Best Supporting Actor to Dean Jager, and the Best Picture to All the King's Men. I certainly want my stalwart cohorts here this evening to say good night to you. And first of all, here's Miss Eve Arden.
Well, thank you very much, Ken. It was terribly exciting doing this. It was a lot of fun. I only wish I could have described some of the beautiful gowns I saw tonight. I was drooling. But it was a little difficult. We didn't quite have time enough. Now Ronnie Regan wants to say good night to you.
Yes, and you know, Ken, if you'll pardon a personal reference, sitting up here looking out through this glass window has taken me back to some years ago when I was a radio sports announcer.
Yes, sir.
And this used to be the stage of a big, thrilling football game when you'd say the long blue shadows are settling over the field, the teams have left. You'd give the statistics in the game. And I don't know of any game that I ever broadcast that was any more exciting or thrilling than this, when once in a while Hollywood gets to show a world, and a world of detractors in many cases, that we're a hard-working and a very serious community and a fine industry made up of very many fine, generous people. It's been a pleasure to be here with you and a pleasure to be on the air and participate in this particular 22nd Annual Award. Good night.
Thank you, Ronnie and Eve. Very kind of you to come down and help us out on this show. I think we should give a special tribute at our finish of our broadcast, Mr. Johnny Gear Green, who directed this great affair, and particularly to Bobby Dolan, who led our orchestra. That's really a tough job in this show, and he did it wonderfully. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this winds up our Academy Awards show. This is Ken Carpenter saying goodnight and hoping we'll see you again next year on Oscar night. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.